wish that I wasn't so cheap. I wish my pockets could be deep. But I'm a penny pincher through and through. I bet I'm a lot like you. I drive a 20-year-old van. Yeah, it's 20 years old. I also drive a 20-year-old truck. But this is the first time that we had two vehicles at the same time in the entire course of our marriage. And it's only because I got this incredible deal on the old truck. But that's enough. All right, hey, how you guys doing? My fellow cheapskates. I had somebody tell me, you gotta stop doing videos about being cheap. It says, you know, nobody's gonna buy your books if you keep talking about being cheap. Probably go get them from the library or something. So, anyhow, welcome back, everybody. Hey, Derek. Hey, Cyber20S. Hey, Katie Ann. Ozark Hollow. Hey, Kimmy Mac. Hey, Apocalypse Gardens. Nice to see y'all. So, I did a video today. You probably saw it. On 7 ways to save money in the garden. And, of course, that's just the beginning of ways that you can save money in the garden. There's a lot of ways to think about your finances, right? Your garden can be a hobby, or it could be something that makes up for some of the grocery budget. So it doesn't necessarily make you money, but it keeps you from spending money, which is useful, similar. Or your garden can actually be a source of income beyond just meeting the regular needs that your groceries would normally consume. So you actually go beyond what you would consume and you make more. After seeing how well the watermelons did this year, and knowing that those watermelons are all for my son's seed business and for his breeding project, which means we can't sell them by the side of the road, and I can't just give them away to everybody. I thought, you know, these are such good melons, and they produce so vigorously, I should really double the size of the patch. So we're not just getting melons for the seed business and plenty of melons for our family, but maybe we could get another $1,000 worth of melons to sell by the side of the road at 4th of July. It would be pretty perfect timing, you know? But I'm just, you know, kind of thinking about it, going, oh, well, let's see if we could push beyond a little bit. But often, the way that you get your gardening to work for you is to eliminate the dumb expenses on the front end. And that's what my last video was about. Some of them are a little bit fanciful, like you don't save that much money on a watering can necessarily. You can save money on a watering can. Of course, if you buy the very cheapest watering can, as somebody said, if you buy the cheapest plastic watering can, it'll get a crack in it. It might not even last the whole season. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to go super, super cheap. But I remember when I was a kid, right, I had to pay for my garden out of my little bit of money that I had. I think my parents, if I did my chores, I got $1 or $2. I think that the highest I ever got for doing my chores was $2 in a week. It was just a pittance, but I wanted that $2, you know, when I was 8 years old. And my parents didn't have to give me anything. The chores were something that I should have been doing anyways. You shouldn't expect money for every single thing you do. Like, hey, Mom, I put my shoes away. Do I get $1? You know, come on. Like, life doesn't work that way. There's just things you need to grow up and do. But anyhow, that's a side thing. I got, you know, my $2 a week, and I wanted to spend it on seeds, if I could spend it on seeds, because seeds were cool. But I knew I needed a watering can. So I saved an old 1-gallon milk jug. I saved a milk jug, one of those big plastic milk jugs, And I went out in the carport, and with a hammer and nail, I punched holes in the lid. Punched a whole bunch of holes in the lid. I would unscrew the lid, fill it full of water, screw the lid back on, and water my little potted plants and my garden with a milk jug that had holes punched in it to make a watering can. So that was my first watering can that I remember, was an old milk jug. So you can be pretty cheap. And we're used to buying solutions to absolutely everything. We actually have gotten lazy in the way we approach a lot of stuff. A lot of things you don't actually have to buy a solution for, or sometimes there's actually not a problem. So to give you an example, another one, there was a woman once that I knew who had 4 or 5 avocado trees. One of her avocado trees got a fungus. So she couldn't figure out how to spray the fungus. She wanted to spray the fungus, and this was a 30-foot tree or so. It was a big established avocado. And she went out and she bought a commercial gas-powered fogger sprayer. There's these heavy-duty backpack things, that cost near $1,000. And she loaded it up with copper sulfate or whatever she was using and sprayed the tree with it to get the fungus off. Now, you can do that. I mean, if you got a lot of money and you want to do that. But the fact is it was just her and her husband and a couple of dogs. And there were multiple trees there. I don't think this fungal infection was even necessarily life-threatening. There were more avocados falling on the ground than any human could ever eat. But when she saw that problem, I have to fix that problem. How do I fix it? I fix it with money. I need to fix it. I have to fix it. But it wasn't even necessarily that big a problem. So sometimes it just happens. You just feel like I just need to buy a solution to this problem. If I had such and such. If you watch the ads for various gardening products, you see, oh, it's so easy to weed with this particular thing, or to cultivate the boundaries with this gas-powered tool, or to prune your trees with an electric chainsaw. And you look at all these gadgets and things and go, oh yeah, that'll do it, So a lot of times you don't actually need to do that. And we learned a lot living outside of the United States for 4 years, living in a place where people still cooked outside over wood, where some people didn't have electric in their houses, where some people didn't even have plumbing through the house, where people fed themselves often by fishing and picking breadfruit and going through old orchards and scavenging mangoes and digging wild yams in the woods. And just seeing how people made do with what they had and how they would use tools for ages and put them back together. Cut sticks from the woods to put new handles on old iron hose. It was cool. And it made me think about things differently. So a lot of that experience, some of you guys, who has this book? Anybody have this book? I wrote this book. I published this last year. Minimalist Gardening, The Good Guide to Growing More with Less. And this little book right here on minimalist gardening really comes out a lot of that experience. What can you do to avoid unnecessary complexity? Like, this is my favorite. This is my favorite illustration here. David the Good beating a dead aquaponics horse. Keep it simple. So this is a okay, so yeah, we've got South Florida Sunshine Tropicals has the book, Keegan has the book, Christina has the book, Apocalypse Gardens gives me the thumbs up. So yeah, this book, Minimalist Gardening, is based on the idea of stripping out the junk that you don't need. And this is something that we've done for years because our garden is a way we feed our family. And of course, the garden turned into my income eventually, because about 10 years ago I started writing gardening books about our experiences, and before that I had written some articles and other things, but I did all kinds of odd jobs over the years. I painted houses, I tutored English, I used to do occasional commissions where I would paint portraits, and I did some art shows. I did some voiceover work for radio. I worked backstage at the Country Music Awards. I did all kinds of things. Man, let me think. I worked at a thrift store. I moved furniture. I did a lot of different bits and pieces of work, and all through that, the one thing that I always tried to have, as long as I had a piece of ground, was a garden, because the garden would take the stress off the budget. When I started writing about gardening, I remember, selling a gardening article for $50 and going, "Oh, wow! I didn't just take some stress off of the grocery budget. I actually made a little money, which is kind of cool." So, when you look at how complicated we make things sometimes, it really makes sense to go back to minimalism. So I started writing this. So chapter 1 is complexity, engineers versus Rastas, and remembering the point. Number 2 is the wide world of raised bed gardening. Number 3 is dejunking your garden. Number 4 is free fertilizer. Number 5 is watering made easy. Number 6 is you can do everything with a machete. Number 7 is grow the simple stuff. Number 8 is grapes on trees and other stories. Number 9 is gardening without money. Number 10 is year-round food. And number 11 is putting it all together. So that's Minimalist Gardening. I put a link to it at the top. Please go buy a copy and tell me that you bought a copy, and I'll play a song for you. This book is basically a culmination of being cheap for years, and it's not a particularly expensive book. It would be kind of like cool and ironic to have it done in a leather-bound edition, for like $200. That would be cool. Actually, I know somebody that I know 2 people that work on like leather-bound special editions, and I've looked at it and go, wouldn't that be cool? Leather-bound edition of me making jokes about dinosaurs in the garden. But yeah, I don't know. It's pretty funny. Derek says, I think I have 5 of your books altogether. That's awesome. I probably have like 20 of your plants, Derek. Mostly because you're so generous. Yeah, those old cooking pots are excellent. I buy old cast iron. One of our favorite cooking pan is a Wagner pan that's probably 80, 100 years old, that I got from an antique store. I think I paid too much for it, like $40 or $50, $60 maybe even, but it is so superior to any other one that we've had, and it just seems to be indestructible. And we had been given non-stick pans in the past, and they deteriorate, and I don't know what kind of chemicals they're putting in you. But those old cast iron pans, the way they used to build the old ones 100 years ago was just incredible. So if you look at the link at the top of the chat, I have a link to Minimalist Gardening. If you go on Amazon and you type in David the Good, you'll see all of my books, including Jack Broccoli. And Jack Broccoli, I wrote 2 gardening thrillers, 2 novels, Garden Heat and Turned Earth. I highly recommend them. They're the best thing I ever wrote. They may not help you save any money in the garden, but at least you'll laugh. The iguana skin edition, I like that. I like that. So I thought with today's stream, I would just share a few thoughts on how gardening has taken some stress off of our budget and how it's been useful to us. First of all, it's just generally being able to go out to your backyard during the growing season and pick some things to eat instead of going to buy them. So right now, we're not buying apples and bananas and oranges and mandarins and things like that. I like to have some fresh fruit for the kids, but when it comes to this time of the year, I just picked a basket of peaches. We've been picking blackberries. The blueberries are in bloom in the woods. We can go out to the woods and forage blueberries. We just finished with the nectarines. We're pretty much getting a couple of figs every day. It doesn't go very far among 11 kids. I need like 10 fig trees, but maybe the fig tree will get big one day and it'll work out. Earlier in the spring, we have the mulberries, but the biggest, most craziest amount of fruit right now is watermelons. There's just way too much watermelon, horrifying amounts of watermelon. So those watermelons are taking up the slack. So it's like, well, I might have bought them some apples. I might have bought them some bananas. Particularly the baby loves bananas. He's only a year and a half old. When he sees bananas, he gets like really excited. You know, it's like, give me that thing, give me that thing. But he's very happy with watermelon, so he's enjoying that. And it takes that, you know, what is that? It's probably, you know, if you were to figure it out, what's an organic watermelon worth? I don't know, probably $20. But it takes the stress off, so we're not having to buy apples or other fruit. Not that you necessarily need to eat apples and fruit. You could probably just live on rice and beans if you wanted to, but it's nice to have them. So we're getting something really pleasant from the garden. And then as those finish up, we'll have a gap again, and we might go, okay, well, we're going to be buying, you know, we're going to be buying some again. But then it will come into the fall, and we get a ton of stuff. We get tons of yams and pumpkins and sweet potatoes, and those often carry us all the way through into the spring, where we at least have a good piece of each meal has come from the garden. Today I picked a few cups of hot peppers, and I had about 4 more cups of hot peppers that are in the fridge right now. And those hot peppers tomorrow will get blended up and made into hot pepper sauce, which will last us some months. I like to put hot pepper sauce on my eggs when I eat them for breakfast. Scrambled eggs, put a little hot pepper sauce on there. And, you know, that's a little bit off the budget. Plus, I think my hot pepper sauce tastes better than the hot pepper sauce I could grow from the store, and it doesn't have anything weird in it. You know, no guar gum or whatever. So it's like, there's a little piece off. And of course, as your food forest grows or your orchard grows, you may end up taking a lot off of your budget. Some years we've had so many potatoes and sweet potatoes that we just stop buying rice or pasta or anything like that. I don't eat pasta, but some of my kids do. My wife eats it. But just not having that, you know, it's like, okay, our carb today is potatoes. Tomorrow's carb will be potatoes. The next day's carb will be potatoes with more potatoes. You have a choice between red potatoes, yellow potatoes, white potatoes, or purple potatoes. But there's nothing but potatoes. But I'll tell you what, we have lard from the pigs that we raised last year. And if you roast homegrown potatoes in the lard and you sprinkle them with sea salt, you could live on those. They're so good. Right now the kids are living on watermelons. Nobody gets to eat anything else until the 70 watermelons are gone. I think we're down to about 62 watermelons now. So nobody is allowed to eat in the entire house until the watermelons are gone. And that, you know, that really does save you some money. I mean, if they feel like you know, we sprinkle a little protein powder on there to just make sure that they get their protein, but you know, there's a little bit of heavy duty planning, I guess, that you would have to do if you really wanted to make sure that you're eating out of your garden all the time. And it's actually harder when you have a larger family, except that you have more hands. So if you can get everybody out there and working, you can produce more food. Last year, you know, we had over 3,500 pounds of food from the garden, and then like another 600 pounds of meat that we raised, and milk and eggs. So that actually took a big chunk out of our grocery budget, and a lot of it was grown simply. There is a scale, though. If you have a few acres, it might make sense to have a tractor so you could go over bigger areas and grow more food. You may not have as high a quality of food if you do that, because you would rely more on tillage and cover crops, and you may have to buy fertilizer or that sort of thing. But you can grow a lot more food. The labor gets easier. For example, if you were to mound up potatoes by hand, doing that over a 10-foot by 20-foot bed, it takes some effort. Definitely takes some effort. But if you were to grow a quarter acre of potatoes and mound them up, it takes a horrifying amount of effort. But if you get a mound maker for the tractor, which costs, I paid $475 for mine, you can throw the mounds up in just like less than a minute. You just drive down the row and it cuts it and it throws a beautiful mound over the potatoes. You can see videos of people doing that on YouTube. And the amount of labor you're saving is over a quarter acre. It's almost 2 days hard work. So if you're getting into cash crop territory, you're growing, bulk commodities, you want to have enough to give to the food bank, give away to the poor, take to church, that kind of thing. There is sense in that. You don't have to be tied to minimalist. Like, I'm only going to garden with a stick. A stick is everything that is necessary for the garden. I can poke holes with it. I can kind of plow with it and dig with it and stuff. You don't have to do that. But there are times, if you're on a small scale, to say, well, what need do I have of this big thing? Like, you don't want to overkill on a small space, but you don't want to work yourself to death on a large space. So I'm not going to be a purist about it and say, you should definitely have a tractor or you shouldn't have a tractor, because it's going to depend on you. And as somebody commented on my video, the person said, I have bad knees and a bad back, so I built raised beds and I garden up. Well, that's good. Just because I say you can save money by gardening directly in the ground, and that it makes a lot of sense for us in our gardening situation. If you have a choice between gardening and not gardening, well, build your raised beds. Build great big, tall, beautiful raised beds. If you live in a community and you have to keep up with the Joneses, or you have an HOA or something like that, and you have to build beautiful stuff, that's great. And there is a value to doing things just because they're beautiful. Cheap can be ugly. It doesn't have to be ugly, but cheap can be exceedingly ugly. Like, planting in freezers, like I've done before. It can be ugly. It's definitely ugly. It's even worse when you see, people planting in old toilets. Yeah, that's just grody. It just looks ugly, right? It doesn't matter how clean that toilet is. It's just gross. It looks like you just dumped waste in your front yard and gardened in it. You think of it this way. If you're going to be beautiful about it, if you can figure out how to balance the beautiful with the inexpensive instead of cheap, right? Think of the Shire. Think of the hobbits in the Shire. Think of making your own trellises by weaving together willow branches or bamboo, or making beautiful little teepees in the garden. So instead of having a bunch of metal junk, right? I mean, like I said, I used an old bed frame to make a trellis out of once, and I got tired of looking at it. It was like, so ugly. Just dump it by the side of the road and let one of the junkers pick it up to go recycle it at the recycling center. Sometimes just being cheap for being cheap's sake is not beautiful. It's like the world is pretty ugly already. So having a beautiful garden, there is nothing wrong with that. And also, if you have the money and you take joy in making things more beautiful, and you want to buy really nice pots and that sort of thing, go for it. But if you're trying to take some dollars off of your budget, you know, just be smart about it. Like, you can put a new handle on an old hoe head by cutting a strong sapling out of the wood and making it work. I've done it before. We did it all the time when we lived down in the Caribbean. But, you know, if you find a good source for an oak or a hickory handle that you think is going to last a lot longer, feels better in the hand, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not necessarily going for, I'm going to spend money on a solution that is possibly overkill or too complicated. Like, for a long time, we didn't garden in a greenhouse. I kept a greenhouse in North Florida in order to keep plants alive for my nursery. Because our backyard nursery was another way we used our gardening to make us a little bit of money. We had a little patch of plants in the backyard. We would go to a little farmer's market or two farmer's markets at one point, and we would sell our plants at the farmer's market. And we would make a couple $100 a week. Sometimes $300, $400, $500, or even $600 in a week, and that felt pretty good. You know, you spend a few hours at the farmer's market, and you make a few bucks, and you know, if you could look at a day's work and say, hey, I made $200, that's not bad. So we had that little area, and so it was enough that I could buy an inexpensive greenhouse, about a little 10-foot by 20-foot kit type of a greenhouse, and that paid for itself because I could keep plants alive in there. For example, I had a little coffee tree that I kept alive, and nobody had coffee. No, almost nobody has coffee plants. It's cool, right? So I had a coffee plant that I had paid, I think I paid $35 for one. That was a pretty decent size coffee tree from a rare plant guy. And then the next year it made fruit, and it made a little cup full of fruit. So like a teacup size of fruit. Each one of those fruit had a seed or two inside of it, a coffee bean. Most of them had, you know, a couple in there. And so I split all of the hulls off and planted them, and then each one of those little plants, I grew it up to about that big, and I was able to sell them for $10 a piece. So keeping that tree alive and selling 40 or so little coffee seedlings for $10 a piece, it really, just that one tree paid for about over half of what the greenhouse cost by keeping it alive. And then I also started transplants a little earlier. I kept my moringa trees alive in there, and I put some little heat pads to start moringa trees, and I would sell moringa trees out of it and other things. And so it paid for itself. But it wasn't just, I need a greenhouse because it would be fun to keep orchids alive. But if you have a greenhouse that's already making you money by, you know, growing whatever you grow for your nursery, or perhaps it's making money because it allows you to start 100, 200, 300, 500 transplants in the spring, and maybe you sell some of your tomato transplants and you plant some of your tomato transplants. If it's paying for itself, then there's no problem because you can stick an orchid in there. It doesn't matter. I've got stuff in my greenhouse. There's no point to it. There's no necessary monetary value in it. There's just a few plants that I think are kind of cool, so I keep them alive in there. I have a jabuticaba that just started making fruit this year. We got our first dozen fruits. I've kept that thing alive for 4 years, and it was probably 4 years old when I got it. Just watering it, occasionally fertilizing it, potting it up, moving it into the house when it was cold, taking it out again, moving it in, taking it out, moving it into a greenhouse now, putting water barrels around it, watering it, feeding it. Starts to get wilty. Oh no, I'm starting to lose it. And it was like, leave the hose dripping on it for a day because the dirt had started to dry out too much, that kind of thing. And it's made me at least 12 fruits now. So yeah, that's completely not making sense from a monetary standpoint. I mean, if I had taken that amount of effort and put it into sweet potatoes, I could have got lots and lots and lots and lots of sweet potatoes. But since I have the greenhouse, I can keep that thing alive, and it is kind of cool. And it's fun when people come over and I could say, hey, try this. Have you ever tried this before? It's like a super sweet, like cotton candy grape that grows on the trunk of a tree. That's cool. You know? So, you just get that, you just get that mindset of, this garden is going to work for me. I don't want to pour money into it. I want it to bring yields to me. I want it to be worth the effort, and I want to be smart about the way I set it up and smart about the tools that I buy. You can pretty much get all of your gardening tools from garage sales for a small garden. If you improve a small space well and you compost regularly and you dump all your coffee grounds and your eggshells and everything, you could throw them right on the garden beds and let them rot down right in place and feed the garden. If you do that and you improve a small space and you work it well and you do unnecessary expenditures, you keep it kind of minimalist, trellises with sticks, planting from seeds instead of transplants. You're not running a tiller, you just go out there and mulch with fall leaves, mulch with grass clippings, whatever. Keep that space under control. As Noah Sanders said, don't cultivate more garden than you have time to weed. And I thought, man, I'm paying for that this year. I got too much garden to weed, and my string trimmer broke. And I don't really want to pay for the string trimmer right now. I just don't want to pay to fix it. So I tried to fix it myself, was not able to fix it myself. Oh well, the garden has weeds all over it, and I can't knock down the weeds around the edges right now very easily. It would be kind of nice to go take a scythe out there. Then I gotta find my whetstone. But anyhow, I'll get around to that. But, you know, don't push your garden so big that it becomes annoying to you, or too annoying. But don't make it so small that it's not worth it, because a garden really can be a way of taking stress off your grocery budget. I reckon we probably save at least $400 or $500 a month because of our gardens. And some years I work the garden harder and pull more out of it. Like last year I really worked it hard. This year I got tied up with some plant sales and I got quite sick twice in a row in the peak of the growing season, and it just completely threw everything off for the year. I was so sick, and the second time I was sick, I got an ear infection at the same time I had this flu, and I still can't hear properly out of this ear, and it's been a month. And it's not like I eat poorly or anything like that. It's just sometimes these things happen, and sometimes it keeps you from doing what you wanted to do. But with what we do have, we have, you know, we've already gotten something like 1,400 pounds of food. Now, to be fair, over like 1,100 pounds of that is watermelons, but you know, we could live on them if we had to. All right, I got to get back to these chats here. Let's see. I saw somebody here said that they bought Minimalist Gardening and they're looking for a song. Where is this? Okay, here we go. Anybody else buy Minimalist Gardening? I'm gonna go a little bit further back to see if anybody else requested a song, just in case. Minimalist Gardening. The link is above. It is on Amazon. I need to sell more books because this is our slow season. The plant sales are over. All right, let's hear. Here we go. Okay, Letha. Hoping for my song. I hope I am saying your name correctly. Where did I put my? There we go. Oh, look, it's stuck right through there. I'm gonna say it's Letha Maloney. Letha Maloney. take no baloney. At least Letha knows the right things to do. She has a machete. I hope it's a she. She has a machete. She has a machete. Oh, Letha Maloney, she don't take no baloney from you. Give her a hard time, she may commit a harsh crime with a machete on you. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Vizwiz says, I love his videos when they have explosions. Yeah, you can hear the neighbors. Can you hear the neighbors shelling the neighborhood right now? It's pretty funny. Derek says, just gave my dad my red hybrid Jabuticaba so he could get into the ground in his yard in Sarasota. Oh, that's so cool. The red hybrid ones, they definitely fruit faster. Sam was telling me about those. Let's see what we got here. I know there was a couple of questions I want to see. Ha! Alex says, I got my coffee plants from you, David, and they're growing up fast. Oh, that's awesome. 5 coffee plants, 4 years old. You should be getting some fruit now. They're pretty fast. Ban Everything says, lots of stress. I live in a little trailer and the electric company sprayed vines and killed 6 huge pines that are looming above me, waiting to die. Well, that's terrifying. I wonder if you should call somebody on that. I definitely wouldn't want the pines falling on you. Pray the St. Michael prayer. It's probably a good idea. I really like that one. St. Michael prayer. Let's see here. Did you get back to me, Letha, here? I had to make sure that I didn't misgender you. Christina says, our velvet beans from Daisy's store are starting to trail us. That's awesome. Thank you, Slim Futures. Much appreciated. Oh, Jensen Family Homestead. My Santa Rosa plums all died this 3rd year in the ground. Planted from bare root. I think the ground is just staying too wet from all of the rain, all of the rain, all the rain, all of the rain, all the rain, all the rain, all of the rain killed the Santa Rosa plums. Oh, goodbye Santa Rosa. I had the same problem. I planted a few Santa Rosa plums. They died mysteriously a couple years later. Strangely enough, the same thing didn't happen to the Bruce Plum or the UF Gold. Just the Santa Rosas, so it makes me wonder if the Santa Rosas are more adapted to the kind of semi-arid climate of California. And when they went over to Florida, even though the chill hours were right, the rain was wrong and they died. Da da, oh Santa Rosa. Yeah, it's frustrating. I had the same problem happen with the Santa Rosas. Yes, Greg, I do have native persimmons. I have 5 or 6 or so growing at the edge of the food forest. I don't know if they're males or females, though. And I have a bunch of them in the plant nursery that I'm planning to overgraft with some Japanese persimmons. I like the native American persimmons, but a lot of them are male, and the males do not produce fruit. You need the males to have the females produce fruit, but there's often the proportion is something like 7 to 1, somebody told me. So, yeah. Oh, I did get it. Letha. God bless you. Thank you. And thank you for buying Minimalist Gardening. So let's see here. I was told that I shouldn't talk about being a cheapskate because I'll never sell any of my books or courses or anything like that. So be it. What are we gonna do? It's always amazing to me that that I found so many like-minded people in community, and I actually found enough people that appreciated my books or appreciated this channel to watch it, to boost it, to make it into a larger gardening channel, to buy enough books that I was able to write more books and didn't just write a book or two and have to try and get a regular corporate job again. So you probably know I do quite a bit of different work. I do some yard consultations for people. People will hire me to come and look at a property. I'll come and look at a property, or I'll give advice to people over Skype or Zoom. Skype is gone now. I used to use Skype because I preferred it, but now it's Zoom. So, I'll give advice to people over Zoom, and I get hired for that. Somebody's got a new piece of property. They want to figure out, how do I do this, or how should I do this? I try to save people trouble on the front end. And I do, I think I make like 50 cents a month or something on Spotify. And, I've done, between the books, I did audiobooks, and I get trickles of income from those things. I get a trickle of income off of the blog. I used to have advertising on there, and I dropped the advertising. And probably shouldn't have. I probably should have just let them keep running ads because, it pays another bill every month. Cheapskate Hero sounds like a good one, yeah. But you just keep a bunch of different things going, but it's because not only did people buy my books, they also recommended them to their friends, and so their friends bought my books. Not only did some of you guys watch my videos, you've also sent my videos to other people. And what I found is that everything that I've sold to somebody nobody has come back and complained, except on very, very rare occasions for very occasional things. Like one guy told me that he had bought my books, but because I talked about God in one of my videos, that he was never going to buy my books again. So I was like, oh, well, okay. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry that I talked about God, but I'm sorry you don't want to buy my books, But it's like, what am I going to do? I'm gonna renounce my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, so I could get another $1.99 on Kindle. Yeah, I don't think so. It's bad trade. So, somebody else didn't like one of my books because it didn't have an index in it. And I thought, okay, it doesn't have an index. Yeah, it would be nice to have a plant index in the book, but I honestly didn't think about it. I wrote this great big, book on Florida food forest. Create your own Florida food forest. It does not have an index in it. It's organized by canopy species, subcanopy species, vines, etc. So it's not that hard to find things, but an index would have been nice. But it's like one of the very first reviews was like a 1-star or 2-star or something. Like, I can't believe this guy doesn't have an index. I'm like, oh dear. I spent like 2 years finishing this book, and then I forgot the index. All of that work, all those species profiles and everything, they're completely negated by the fact that I was so awful as to not put an index in it. But what I found is if I sell somebody a book, I don't feel bad about it, because just like if somebody buys my course, I don't feel bad about it. I'm glad that you gave me money and you bought that course. First of all, it helps me make more stuff, but second of all, it gives that person part of the education that I have. So what, my accumulated experience in gardening knowledge is distilled down into my various books like Minimalist Gardening, or into my Florida gardening course, or some of my longer speeches and videos and things that I put up over at the school group, or into my YouTube videos. And so if it's distilled down into there, and it's got just like sometimes it's just one thing. Like I had somebody tell me, he said, I planted 50 trees around this apartment complex that we take care of, and something like half of them died. What happened? Like, I think the nursery was awful. I said, when did you plant them? Well, I planted them in early summer. Okay. Were they large plants in, pots like this big? Yeah, they were big. They're beautiful. But we put them in the ground and they died. Did they have irrigation? No. Okay, so the guy's not a gardener. He's taking care of a property. He puts these in. I told him, I said, okay, first of all, wrong time of year. Second of all, they really need to be watered in when you put them in. Third of all, if you buy big plants in pots that look totally perfect, already in bloom, big gorgeous plants, and you take them from that nursery environment where they're getting cared for and they're getting fertilized, etc., and you plop them right into the ground, they're going to die. And he goes, man, that is so helpful. So plant smaller plants, water them in well, and when should I plant them? I said, plant them in the fall, or plant them in the very early spring when they're really not growing. I said, like, ideally you plant a stick in a pot or a bare root tree and then just water it in. And he said, man, that just that one piece of advice, man, I'm going to remember that. I'll remember that for the rest of my life. He goes, because that cost me hundreds of dollars. I said, yeah, I mean, it's not like I haven't made tons of mistakes. When I want to know how to, I wanted to figure out how to incorporate. I should have a corporation. I was told, there was a friend of our family's who's an accountant, and she said, oh, you should really have a corporation, because a corporation will help you financially with all of what you're doing. And I was like, oh, okay, how do I do that? Well, you've got to file this thing and the other thing. I'm like, I don't know how to do that. Please tell me how to do that. Like I don't have any idea. So I hired her. I paid her something like, $300 or something to figure out the corporation or whatever. Well, guess what? It ended up saving me hundreds of dollars, maybe even thousands of dollars, probably thousands of dollars over the last 20 years, because I hired her to do something that she knew that I didn't. So if it's something valuable like that, yeah, I'll put money into it. The same thing goes for the gardening. If I know that my garden needs a particular thing, I'll put the money in. I'll just put the money in. I don't care. It's like somebody told me, if I spend $100 on Facebook ads to promote my product, and every time I spend $100, I sell $200, how much money am I going to spend on Facebook ads? I said, you just keep spending money until you're not making double. He's like, right, because it doesn't matter. You're not wasting $100 if it makes you $200. And so that's how I feel about my books. That's how I feel about other people's books. I buy books all the time. I've bought courses. I bought a course on how to, not that it helped me make any money, but on how to mix paint properly to get the colors right, because I kept struggling with it. And I'm like, I really want to know how to get colors exactly right, because I wanted to paint some portraits. I wanted to get the skin tones and everything correct. So I paid for a guy's course. You know what? It was like 5 or 6 lessons or something. I got to the end of it, it's like I could mix all the skin colors and everything. I got better at it by practicing. I'm sure I'm not as good as that guy is, but it's an easy trade, So if I sell you something, I believe that it will make you more than what I'm selling it, because one of the things you gotta keep in mind when you have a business is, if you're lying to people, if you're being dishonest, if you push somebody into a sale that was a bad deal for them, they will tell other people, I got this thing and it didn't work and whatever, and whatever. But I don't have to do that. If people get one of my books, they just turn around and they tell other people, hey, I like this guy's books. So, unless it doesn't have an index, But it's when I was younger, I worked for a agency that did some advertising, and I was a good writer, and I had to write some advertising, and sometimes they would want me to write advertising for stuff that I didn't like, or that I didn't think was valuable. How do you trigger all the emotions to get somebody to buy something that they don't need and they probably shouldn't have. And I got so sick. It wasn't all the time. It was just the occasional one where I'm like, I don't want to sell that. And I quit. I just quit. I didn't like it at all. But I remember them telling me how important sales were. And I was like, yeah, I think sales are important, but not if you're selling something that's not valuable, or something that people don't, won't be useful. So if if I like something, like I like the Meadow Creature Broadfork, I recommend the Meadow Creature Broadfork. It wasn't until I think 2 years ago, Meadow Creature said, "Do you want an affiliate link?" I was like, "Oh yeah, that's cool." So I posted the affiliate link, and then I get like a kickback of a few bucks on each one they sell. I was like, "Oh, that was cool." But I didn't do it originally because of that. I just was like, I like it. It's useful. I pried boulders out with it. I divided banana clumps with it. I broke clay soil. I broke sandy soil. I mean, the thing is basically indestructible. I like it. It's cool, But it was nice. They actually sent me multiple broadforks and said thank you, and then they gave me a link. So apparently, a bunch of people bought Meadow Creatures, which was cool, Yeah, South Florida Sunshine says, my half-sister quit for the same reason. Yeah, one of my friends when I was younger, he got a job working for a vacuum cleaner company where they sell vacuums. And he really wanted to work hard and make money because he was trying to get out on his own. He had a high school degree, wasn't going to college, he wanted to make some money, and he got hired to sell vacuum cleaners, and they gave him this training and everything, and he came over, he's like, can I test out my sale on you? I was like, sure. So he tested out the whole sales pitch. I was like, oh, that's really impressive. I was like, so what's it cost? He's like, oh, it's such and such amount of money, and we have payment plans and such, and he's just kind of going like, what is it? He goes, I just don't think I can do this. I don't think he's like, but I'm gonna try it. I was like, yeah, try it, see what happens. I mean, they seem like they're kind of awesome vacuums. So after a few weeks of going out, he quit. He said, I can't. He said, I went into this lady's house, and it's obviously really don't have that much money. Everything is kind of run down, and she's totally fascinated with this pitch that we're doing. And I thought, I cannot sell her a vacuum cleaner on a payment plan. I can't do it. I just can't do it. It says I just couldn't do it. Yeah. I get it. I mean, if you need a vacuum, you got the money for a vacuum, that's great. But maybe that's not the answer, Maybe you should pull up your carpets and just sweep the tile with a $9.99 broom from Dollar Tree, So, yeah, I feel like... Okay, Christina says, which company has the wheel hoe that you like? My favorite was the Planet Whiz Bang wheel hoe that Herrick Kimball made. Not because it was the prettiest, but because it was inexpensive and it worked well. But that is no longer in production, and the wheel hoe that I think is probably the best is the Haas wheel hoe. Now I admit I have not tried the Glazer wheel hose or some of the other ones, but the Haas wheel hoe I have tried. It's based on the old Planet Junior model wheel hose. I think it even fits the same blades and sweeps and everything. So that it's a well-made classic tool. So there was this company that went out of business called Planet Junior, which is what the Planet Whiz Bang was based on, and then Haas basically, it looks like they basically recreated that, but they've added to it. They've innovated and added some other attachments and things. Now, I would recommend not getting the complicated one. If you're going to buy a wheel hoe, I think that the single wheel hose are less unwieldy. I tried a 2-wheel model and it really feels clunky. The 1-wheel models are so fast. And the amount of times that I actually would go over a row with a wheel on either side and use the sweeps to do both sides, I just don't usually do that. So maybe if you were in a bigger space, you might want the 2-wheel so you could go down your rows. You're doing like some sort of a garden like that. But I think that if you get their wheel hoe with the oscillating blade, the hula type blade that's got the decapitating blade on the back, I think that's really good. They're solid. So Tammy says, I found a used Grandpa's weeder I picked up cheap this spring. Yeah, I got I have a couple of incomplete wheel hoes and then one complete Planet Junior wheel hoe that has 3 cultivator teeth on the back that works pretty well. But yeah, if you know, if I recommend something to you guys, I hope that it is not only like a so-so sort of a thing, but that you go, hey, that was really worth doing. Otherwise, I don't feel good about it, and that's why I'm not really much of a sales guy. I just try to mention stuff that I like, and of course, I like my own books, or else I wouldn't have bothered writing them. They are not written with any AI, and they are hand illustrated by real, honest to goodness people. This book is illustrated by Tom Sensible, who is extremely good. His illustrations are beautiful. He did woodcuts for this one, and I hired him to do woodcuts because it's awesome. And I hired a really good guy to do the layout on it. I really like the minimalist design, and of course the machete. This is Minimalist Gardening. I put a link above. If you don't have the book, buy it. It will be worth your while. And if you guys are also not in my school group, I have put up 2 courses over there now, both of which are very helpful. One of them is a course on how to plant your own food forest the easy way, and it's everything from just looking at a bare piece of grass and figuring out how to lay it out without hiring a landscape architect or any of that. And that one is 6 parts, and it also has a whole section on plant propagation techniques that we use in the nursery to be able to grow a food forest for cheap. That food forest course is for anybody that signs up for school, and I'll put a link to that here. Anybody that's a member of school can watch that. However, if you are an annual member of school, so you pay for the whole year, it will get you also the Florida gardening course and then access to a few extra perks. Like I've got some of my talks from events and some more in-depth talks on specific crops and things like that. So, you know, I like the annual members because I know that they're going to stick around, and I appreciate people going, hey, I think it's worth it. But the funny thing is that like the amount that I sell the course for standalone is about the same amount that you get an annual membership for, and then all the courses are on there. So, can you do bad dreams? Ha ha ha! World of Weather is here. How you doing, World of Weather? World of Weather gets more views than I do. It's crazy. Don't get demonetized. Be a shame if anybody reported you. I'm kidding. This is my friend. This is my good friend. Alright, here we go. I'm going to tell you guys, go buy my book. Buy Minimalist Gardening. Go sign up for school. It will be worth it. And now I'm going to sing at you to drive you away. Well, I lay down in bed around the middle of the night, and ate up, felt so hungry, had to get up for a bite. So I looked in the fridge for something good to know. Promptly made a pile out of everything I saw. Well, I should have known better than to pack up my gut when I eat a snack food. I deserve what I got. Bad dreams all night, oh, all night, bad. First I made a sandwich. slice of bread. I didn't have mayo, so I used ketchup instead. Grabbed a slice of ham and some other kind of meat. Packed in some marshmallows, topped it off neat. Then I had bad dreams all night, all night. Very, very bad. String of sausages, a full cup of cream, a bag of pork rinds, and a pitcher of 12 donuts plus some broccoli and cheese. 15 candies from a box of jelly beans. And then I had bad dreams all night, all night. Very, very bad dreams all night, all night, all night. Bad dreams, bad dreams, bad dreams, bad dreams, bad dreams. Very, very bad dreams all night, all night. So, what do you think I ate? What do you think gave me all those bad dreams? Marshmallows and liver for life, turkey leg, and some apples, Chick-fil-A, and rubbery eggs. I'm gonna throw that in there. Bubble and squeak, fish sticks, a fish burger, and cheese curds. A toad in the hole, rubbery eggs. Come on, guys, name some more food, man. A turducken was entirely too many animals jammed into one weird animal. Meadow soup with hush puppies, niche stringy steak, Brussels sprout pudding and sushi, juicy eggs, frog legs, bouncy ball eggs, pigs in a blanket and sauerkraut, keeper and slightly poisonous mushrooms, milk chocolate pecan and caramel clusters, dodgy garage pie, jelly rings, loco moco, fish with some barbecue sauce and meatballs and roadkill and Brussels sprouts and watermelon and anything British. Schnitzel, Zaxby's, enchiladas in green salsa and okra. I don't even know what that is. Liverwurst and goats. Liverwurst and goats. Bread and pumpkin pie and kombucha jelly, gas station sushi, chicken nibblers, lemon tuna fish. That's kind of a variation on the surf and turf. Wacky mac and beans on wheat and papa pudding. I already said the garage pie. Tamales with rooster beak, Bavaria spaghetti, Buffalo sandwiches, lobster donuts and bananas, a bottle of wine and some cinnamon toast and some graham crackers, cucumbers full of pickle worms and some pickled pops and some fruit cake and chocolate icy and breadfruit and shrimp cereal, french fries and pig feet, fried chimichanga with green sauce, guacamole, pico de gallo and sour cream, crema de sour. Turkish delights from the land where it's always winter and never Christmas. Buenos and Yackeri syrup, yam beer and oyster ice cream. I'm not saying the Z word, Brent, keep it clean. Spider juice, yogurt and yams, noodles and shrimp, scodala and rabbit stew, corn muffins, strawberries, everything listed covered in chocolate sauce and gravy. I did. Graham crackers, cheese and crackers, food, dog treats. I don't know what that is. Bowtie life in the garden, you're confusing me. Green squash, turkey pepperoni, and glop aka, glop aka, glop aka mystery casserole and biscuits. Cucuza, no baked cookies, queso frito, cheese with toothpaste, honeydew and cantaloupe, equal pizza, or Henry bars, flapper, spinach and cottage cheese cello, and mole poblano, tagalaga, parrot stone soup and sauerkraut. I love traveling and trying foods. Green squash. That's okay, I can say green squash. Loofah Gordon, Italian ice. Rocky Mountain oysters. Oh yeah, there we go. Boost testosterone. Oxtail soup. bolted lettuce and lumphao, ricotta and maple syrup and wontons, kimchi souffle, plums and peaches, hot the beaches, cabbage, chili relleno, and that sauce with pomegranate nibs sprinkled on top, and crab flavored wine. Oshaboko. Bondi. I don't know what that is, man. I don't know what these things is. Pineapple honey chicken with wild rice and top basil. Rumpled thumps, tatsoi and lime sauce, cup of noodles, hignite pancake, velvet beans, yams and malanga, mushroom curry and mulberries and dates, Jigglypuff Jello, shrimp and grits, snickerdoodles. Are we in tune?
I don't think so.
Let's see.
Oh!
Do you have a tuner?
Outsider music.
Here we go.
Sounds about good to me.
Here, where were we here? What happened?
Just one stringist.
Where were we?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Also boko is beef legs to roast. Dingleberries. It's a real fruit. I'm sure it is. Thank you very much. Jamaican jerk chicken, grapefruit and yogurt. Calamata and rump roast. What about bologna sandwiches? Dodo, Nigerian fried plantains, not the bird. It would be hard to get a dodo bird. Pillbugs and ice cream, chunky salsa, jujubes, bacon wrapped jalapeno poppers, yuca, 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 yuca. Wow, man, it's going too fast. I can't follow it. I can't follow it. Here we go. Here we go. Gumbo, dozen tacos to go. Wacky cake, no eggs, no dairy, and bison steak. Congealed salad, slap your mama, seasoning. Also buckle with veal shank pot roast, moo pudding, beef with milk of course, and chocolate cupcakes, emu eggs. Don't forget the Dagwood sandwich, expired Cheerios, expired Cheerios, and top of the kaba sorbet. Whoopie pie, but I have to go to bed. Good night. Ooh, fried mozzarella sandwich sounds so good while I'm burning this bowl. Chicken and dirt cups, squirrel stew and diatomaceous earth by sea. Haggis and shoe flat pie, escargot and Bombay cake. Order pro nobis. My rooster Napoleon and green enchiladas. Tapioca chaos, s'mores and eggs, banana slump cobbler that gave up Australian native finger limes. I got some in the greenhouse. Agave grubs, crab cake, frog eye salad, tanga chocolate cake and fried and crispy, grasshoppers and Maine lobster roll and carrot pickles. Got the cake ugly but tasty, mac and cheese and hornworm tomatoes and deep fried potatoes. Booch boots, boozy whipped cream bites. Oh yeah, lamb race watermelons, a lot of those. Sweet potato pie and watermelon again. Corn smut. It's a fungus. Gobbledygook and liver and onions. Whipple wobble jello, obviously. Potato salad. And lily roots. Twinkie pie. You want to try singing these?
Oh no.
You gotta sing them now.
Butter, lots of butter, Texas trash mix, copper corn, sandpaper figs, moringa is good, unicorn bark, Jody is good, daikon salad, Davidson's phone, $2.50, tomato, hot tamales and Swedish fish.
Sorry. I
Pretty
just
good.
kind of sprung that on you there. Probably. But here we go. Bad dreams all night, bad dreams all night, all night, bad dreams, bad dreams, very, very bad dreams.
I got it.
Let's see if we. Do you want to get demonetized?
Actually, wait.
I wonder. I wonder if you could do that song as
No.
lay down to bed around the middle of the night. I lay down to bed around the middle of the night, and then I felt so hungry I had to get up for a bite, and I looked in the fridge for something good to gnaw.
Something good to know.
Rubbery eggs next. I cannot remember the chord progression for rubbery eggs. I want to play rubbery eggs. Just a minute. I'll find it. I'll try to find it. I have to find myself playing it. Because it's been like, why have I not played it? There we go. Oh, where'd it go? Wow, this is so sad. I gotta watch my own song. I can't do it. It's so sad. Let's see. Woke up this morning to find you had gone. Keys were off the hook. hard-boiled eggs in the pan. 10 years we've been struggling, 10 years so far apart. 10 years on that Toyota, can't believe you stole my car. And all I had for breakfast was rubbery eggs, rubbery eggs for breakfast. And all I had for breakfast was rubbery eggs, rubbery eggs for breakfast. So I got on my bike and I rode through the rain. Was so late to work, my boss said not to come again. Way home I kept thinking about the love we shared, about your long brown hair, and how you took my car. And all I had for breakfast was rubbery eggs, rubbery eggs for breakfast. And all I had for breakfast was rubbery eggs, rubbery eggs for breakfast. When I finally got home, there was a message on my phone. Doc says that he's concerned about those tests that they've done. Unemployed and maybe terminal. Could things get any worse? Then the radio man comes on and says Yellowstone has finally burst. So this is how I'll go in a pyroclastic flow, and they'll dig me up one day, and everyone will know that all I had for breakfast was rubbery eggs, rubbery eggs for breakfast. That's all I had for breakfast was rubbery eggs, rubbery eggs for breakfast. All he had for breakfast was, all he had for breakfast was, all he had for breakfast was rubbery eggs. All he had for breakfast was, all he had for breakfast was, all he had for breakfast was rubbery eggs. I hope you're burning inside my car. I hope you're burning inside my car. I hope you're burning inside my car. He had for breakfast. Hope you're burning inside my car. All I had for breakfast was rubbery eggs, rubbery eggs for breakfast. And all I had for breakfast was rubbery eggs, rubbery eggs for breakfast. Eggs.
Pretty fun.
Thank you very much for the super chat. Much appreciated.
Joe Serrano.
And Joe, thank you
Is he a
for
member
the
too? Wow.
Joe is the most encouraging man in YouTube. And Bobbert, thank you very much for the song request of Rubbery Eggs. It just took me a minute to figure it out. It's funny, I remember the lyrics, but I didn't remember the chord progression, so... I'm going to play another one here.
I don't have a seatbelt and don't want to get thrown out of the windshield of the car. So I'm sitting and I'm worrying in the back seat of a car. Worrying as we're fishing about the bones and the fishes that could get caught in our throats. And I'm worried about the fishing licenses and the other fishermen fishing in our boat. If the boat got stuck in my throat and I choked, would the police throw me down on the ground as I choked and 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 I choked? This world is a terrifying place. So I try as I try as I try as I try to keep a smile on my face. This world is a terrifying place. So I try as I try as I try as I try to keep a smile on my face. And I'm worrying about the check that I put in the letter in the box where they get the mail. Will the furniture company get it in time? And if not, will I go to jail? Will they come and take the dresser and the bed and the chair? Will they come and take me too? Cause I don't wanna go there. So I'm worried about the check that I put in the letter in the box where they get the mail. This world is a terrifying place. So I try as I try as I try as I try to keep a smile on my face. This world is a terrifying place. So I try as I try as I try as I try to keep a smile on my face. But I'm worried about the driver of the car. Yes, I'm worried about the driver of the car. Yes, I'm worried about the driver of the car. Yes, I'm worried about the driver of the car. Very nice. Well, you're never too old for a pony ride. No, you're never too old for a pony ride. No, you're never too old for a pony ride. No, you're never too old for a pony ride. Well, they're kinda like a horse, but they're smaller. A giraffe is like a pony, but his neck is taller. If you wanna ride, just give me a holler. All rides are $1. Oh, you're never too old for a pony ride.
song is by REM.
It's in D minor, right?
A minor.
Oh. Right. On the side of small keys.
There's a truck in my field. In my field, there is a truck. On the back is a thing. Yeah, a thing is on the back. What's that thing on the back of the truck that's in my field? It's a lime buggy, buggy lime. What's the thing on the back of the truck in my field? It's a lime buggy, buggy lime. A lime buggy on a truck with a lime buggy. A buggy filled with lime, a lime filled buggy thing. Oh yeah, yeah, What's that thing on the back of the truck that's in my field? It's a lime buggy, buggy lime. What's the thing on the back of the truck in my field? It's a lime buggy, buggy lime. A lime buggy on a truck with a lime buggy, a buggy filled with lime, a lime filled buggy thing. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. What's the thing on the back of the truck in my field? It's a lime buggy, buggy lime. What's the thing on the back of the truck in my field? It's a lime buggy, buggy lime. A lime buggy on a truck with a lime buggy, a buggy filled with lime, a lime filled buggy thing. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Lime buggy lime. 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 What's the thing on the back of the truck in my field? It's a lime buggy, buggy lime. What's the thing on the back of the truck in my field? It's a lime buggy, buggy. The future and the past, spreading lime across the grass. Lime buggy lime. Lime buggy lime. Lime buggy lime. Lime buggy lime.
Nice. That was pretty good.
Let's try another one here. I mean, since we're kind of committed now, aren't
Yeah, we
we?
got
I
it,
mean,
we got it,
we
yeah.
stopped. By the way, guys, buy this book, Minimalist Gardening. That's what we're talking about this evening. It's totally worth the money. There is a link at the top of the chat.
If you don't buy that book, you're banned from the channel.
You don't buy that book, you're
You're
banned.
banned,
You're
yeah.
banned. You're done. Yeah.
Don't let us find out.
YouTube will demonetize you in your house if you don't buy that.
They'll send
They'll send
their
a demonetizer
squad,
to your front door. So buy Minimalist Gardening right now. It supports our guitar string budget. Okay, here we go.
Wait,
wanna
you're
make sure
getting
that we
paid
get
for your guitar strings?
You keep breaking them. All right, here we
Hey.
go. This song is very calm and peaceful and sweet. It's definitely not going to be featured in a horror movie that somebody just asked me about. Definitely not. Just real tune it really quick here. Somebody asked what guitar I'm playing. I am playing a Taylor Model 310 CE. Beneath the cherry tree one fine afternoon. Someday I know we'll meet again on a fruit salad spoon. Laid my hamster to rest last night beneath the pumpkin vine. Someday I know that we'll meet again in a Thanksgiving pie. If it dies when it's at my house, it'll end up in the soil. My trees are all fed by pets, shuffling off this mortal coil. Put my puppy neath the garden bed one early winter morn. Someday I know that we'll meet again in a lovely row of corn. If it dies when it's at my house, it'll end up in the soil. My trees are all fed by pets, shuffling off this mortal coil. Laid the tax man to rest last night beneath the money tree, and I know I'll never meet again, 'cause he won't be in heaven with me. If it dies when it's at my house, it'll end up in the soil. My trees are all fed by pets, shuffling off this mortal coil. Buried my rabbit neath the cherry tree one fine afternoon. Someday I know that we'll meet again on a fruit salad spoon.
Nice.
It was a little sloppy, but
That was pretty sloppy.
Why did the drummer get kicked out of the greenhouse? He kept dropping sick beats.
Ban that guy. Ban that guy. Somebody ban that guy.
Thank you very much, Carolyn, for the super chat. And the thumbs up hip hop hippo. The hip hoppopotamus. Oh, come on. What happens when you mix loofahs and Led Zeppelin? Stairway to Mildew. Oh, yeah, you know, I've got the David the Good Tunes channel. I got some music over there. You know, we could do Sugar Pie. All of these will not get me demonetized, but I played a hymn the other night, and guess what? Demonetized. There's 2 excellent chords in this song. Keep it funky. Yeah. I'm driving with the top down, baby. Rain can't stop me. I'm home black coffee, baby. Your blues won't rock me. I'm playing on the Seacombe, baby. Storm crows can't stop me. I'm cranking up the bass and baby, and you can't drive me. Ooh, sugar pie. Ooh, sugar pie. I'm gonna let my hair grow, baby. My boss can't stop me. I'm gonna take a payday loan to fight the commies. I'm headed to the drugstore, baby. Don't call your mommy. I'm gonna skip the ice cream, baby, and the pastrami. Ooh, sugar pie. You can sing back up to that. Ooh, sugar pie. Ooh, sugar pie. Ooh, sugar pie. sweets, baby. Gluten can't stop me. I'm gonna dodge my taxes, baby. The man won't rob me. I'm gonna drink some Lysol, baby, to clean my body. I'm rocking out at midnight, baby. And your way can't stop me. Ooh, sugar pie. Ooh, sugar pie. Dinner and a show. Yes, this is my oldest son.
Actually, we don't know each other.
Yeah. We took him in. We took him in. Yeah.
Somebody said some.
What did we get here?
Up there, you missed it. Yeah.
Hey, thank you very much for the $10 super chat, man. That's a few burritos right there, or a set of strings. Your call is very important to us. If you need immediate help, hang up and dial the operator. No, we don't have 14 kids. We only have 11.
Hi, Carolyn Food Forest 335. 355, sorry.
What key is that in?
Hey.
nice.
Very nice.
For those of you playing along at home on your various instruments, that was Nocturne in A. You're listening to Lower Alabama's public radio. Coming up next, has the president gone too far? Again. Later, we catch up with a historic look at the smallest country that you've never heard of, and its incredible sense of fashion. This is NPR. Are sea turtles as big as a whale? And other stories from America's premier poet this evening on Does It Matter? Here on NPR. Has Ron DeSantis gone too far again? We talk about that later on Wait, Wait, Don't Kill Me. Has everybody gone too far? We're gonna talk more about that.
Only
NPR. Play the song by Presidents.
Which one?
The Tiny Desk concert series with Liechtenstein. Meet the World says, I'm playing along on my harmonica and loving it. Wish you'd do more videos like this. You know, it's if I decide to do long music streams, invariably people complain because they wanted a gardening stream. And then if I just talk about gardening, people will say, man, why don't you ever do any of your songs anymore? So I guess it doesn't really matter, does it?
There's not a happy medium.
There's no happy medium. The two don't meet. It's oil and water. Music and gardening.
The world is ending today. Again, film at 11. That's good.
The world is ending again. Oh, it's like that, you know that pinched Yankee accent?
The world is ending again. The world is ending today.
Yeah.
Our DC correspondent.
Let's see.
I don't want to call her. Said I don't want to call her 'cause I don't want to punch in all the numbers on my calling card. It's long distance, too many numbers. Too many numbers. I don't want to call her. I said I don't want to call her 'cause I don't want to punch in all the numbers on my calling card. Long distance, too many numbers. Long distance, too many numbers. 10, 10, 3, 2, 1.
just nobody uses calling cards anymore. But all right, is there like a last song you want to play? I think I've played every song that I know.
Elvis isn't gonna demonetize us, is it?
Yes.
Ah! Oh man.
Can you play original? You got an original?
No. Not ready for the public at least. Wow, that's a terrible tone.
I'm gonna do it. This is one of Perry's originals.
No, it's not.
It's called I Never Met a Haircut I Liked. That's the whole thing.
That's the whole.
That's the whole song, yeah. It's more of like the painted word, you know.
Right. Yeah. You're supposed to.
You know, we could do 30,000 years, but it's so draggy. It's sad, like, to do that song.
Wait a minute. Did you do Shit, you really have not written any more songs than those four.
I've only written. Well, we could do the hamster song.
Actually, that's a pretty. I feel like that's a better
That's
one.
an
to
up.
end
That's
it on.
really a. All right, we could do that.
Flushed by STP. Don't tempt me. Oh my goodness.
Oh, we should play it as a grunge song, probably.
Thank you, Joe Serrano, by the way.
Thank you, Joe.
Grow the hair while you have it. Yeah, I'm growing my hair out until world peace has been achieved.
Little Susie don't like hamsters, cause they sneak into a room at night. Got a pin under her pillow so she can't poke 'em in the eye. Don't let them catch her sleeping, she'll be alert when the hamsters are creeping. Poke 'em in the eye, Little Johnny loves a hamster named Brian, gives him all his hugs and kisses. Sending off the hamster haters in the fridge, sing a swim with the fishes. Sings a smile and a lizard's laugh. Brian, the hamster's got his little golden calf, so sing a song with picket fence, sing a song of pie. All the little lone birds poke 'em in the eye. Spin around the wheel, press your face up to the glass. Smile with your eyeballs as the pretty hamsters pass. I don't see a carving knife, but they got short tails. Poking knives is a way of life, at least we are not snails.
Gotta play the worst solo ever because it's growing.
think, guys?
This is like the point where we destroy the guitars, right?
Probably. Nope, that'll get us demonetized.
Oh.
No, stop! No, not that one, not that one.
Whoa, hey.
Okay, this live stream is all about minimalist gardening and cheap gardening tips to help you in your yard. We hope that this has been extremely helpful. Please buy the book Minimalist Gardening. It's extremely helpful. Also, if I can guarantee you, if you spend the amount that this book costs on Amazon, you can get it at the link above in the chat, that it'll be worth a bazillion times that in peace and usefulness in your garden. So, thank you all. We had a very nice evening together, and I think we had a very profitable discussion. So. Minimalist gardening.
Buy it right now.
Buy it right now.
Right now, go to Amazon.
Go to Amazon, click the link and buy this book. Buy this book.
Purchase.
Buy this book. It's
your
got
card
illustrations in
information.
it. It's got illustrations in it. Like, each one of these illustrations is worth $100. So, I mean, it's like you're just making money by buying Minimalist Gardening. Thank you very much.
Whoa, it's out of tune.
Have a very nice evening, everyone. We were perfectly restrained tonight, but I think we had a nice time anyhow. It was a little bit of a hootenanny at parts. We maybe had a bit of a shindig. But I think that overall, no one got hurt too badly, except for the people at NPR. Have a good evening. God bless. And until next time, may your thumbs always be green.